Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. Nothing on this channel is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this content is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm sharing how I personally think about markets, risk, and capital based on my experience as a builder and operator. Any decisions you make are your responsibility. All investing involves risk. This channel is about perspective, structure, and process, not recommendations. Everything we talk about here is built around a simple idea. Markets move in recurring cycles. Those cycles repeat throughout history, even though the assets and headlines change. The strategy we use is designed to survive three outcomes: a continued melt-up, a surprise crash, or a slow grind into recession. The goal is not prediction, it's preparation. This strategy didn't come from finance textbooks. It came from building businesses through different cycles. I've worked across the music industry, technology platforms, media, real assets, and emerging technologies. Different industries, different timelines, same underlying patterns. What I learned early is that cycles don't announce themselves. They show up through behavior. In creative industries like music, you see this clearly. Money flows easily during good times. Budgets expand. Everyone chases what just worked. Then conditions change, not because talent disappears, but because economics tighten. The people who survive aren't the ones predicting hits. They're the ones who manage cash, control risk, and stay flexible. In startups and venture-backed environments, the pattern repeats. During expansion, capital is abundant. Growth matters more than discipline. Risk is rewarded. Then funding tightens. Valuations compress. Cash suddenly matters again. What matters most in those moments isn't being right early. It's not being forced. Working closer to real assets added another layer. In real estate and on-the-ground projects, behavior changes before prices do. Confidence fades quietly. Projects get delayed. Buyers hesitate. Sellers wait. By the time headlines catch up, the cycle is already well underway. That's where I learned to watch behavior, not narratives. Eventually, it became obvious. Markets behave the same way businesses do, just at scale. Expansion rewards activity, late cycles reward discipline, crises punish leverage. Survival comes from preparation, not foresight. That's why this strategy isn't about calling tops or bottoms. It's about building a structure that doesn't break. I've seen how narratives trap people. Bullish because something is working, bearish because it feels righteous, loyal to assets instead of evidence. Builders don't get that luxury. When you're responsible for outcomes, you adapt or you disappear. That's why this framework is independent by design. That background is why this strategy looks the way it does. Cash is treated as optionality, not fear. Bonds are staged, not rushed. Risk exposure is controlled, not binary. Bitcoin is treated as liquidity beta, not belief. The goal is simple. Avoid forced decisions. Preserve flexibility. Act when probabilities shift. Today's environment makes this framework especially relevant. We're late cycle. Risk assets can still move higher, but downside risks are becoming more asymmetric. Credit matters more than narratives. Liquidity matters more than opinions. This is exactly when structure matters most. That's why these videos exist. Not to hype moves, not to predict crashes, not to react to every headline, but to track signals, to explain how cycles actually unfold, and to stay prepared while others get emotional. This channel is a builder's approach to uncertainty. Stay solvent, stay flexible, watch behavior, act when the odds shift. We don't need to be early, we just can't afford to be late.